Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the 4-3-2-1 formation to review. Guys, this is going to be from Mo Abba, so I'm going to leave a link down below to his YouTube channel. Not necessarily the YouTube channel, the video that he actually posted this tactic, because I was in his stream one day and I think he was playing like competitive FIFA, and I saw him using the 4-3-2-1, and as you guys know, Mo Abba is absolutely fantastic at this game, so I wanted to try it out in game with a team that is obviously not as meta, but still pretty decent to work with, right? Because people are going to be working with some pretty cheap options, so it's going to be very interesting to see how the team actually performs in game, right? So guys, for the 4-3-2-1, we are going to be using it like this, right? So it's going to be set up on balance, and forgive me because Mo speaks a different language, so I may have missed an instruction, but I think I got everything perfectly. So I think he's German, right? So I need the German guys to tell me if I have them correctly, because he has the video on his actual channel, right? But yeah, so defensive style is going to be on balance 51 for width, depth at a 50. Build up play is going to be on balanced, chance creation on direct passing 60 for width, and then 6 for players in the box with 2 corners, 2 free kicks, right? To be honest with you guys, for me personally, I would probably put this to a 1 because you want to concede counterattacks as little as possible, right? Because in my opinion, they're the worst types of goals to concede. Instructions for the team, right? So from what I've seen, he has the fullbacks on balanced, right? So Manafa in this case and Mario Rui are both going to be on balanced instructions. Your player that's playing through the middle, that'll be the most defensive player, but in his case, I think he was using Yaya Toure, pro player, right? So he's going to have like the full meta teams, of course. But let's see. So Yaya Toure. So let's take a look at this card, right? So yeah, I used this card, by the way, in a draft one time. He was disgusting. Like literally, he was so good. It was disgusting how good he was. But in his case, right, it's a really good card because he's base lengthy, which is super helpful, obviously, because you probably give him like a shadow chemistry style or even like an engine. Oh, never mind. You can't give him an engine because it makes him controlled. But yeah, you probably give him like a shadow chemistry style to make him good in the pace and defensive department while being that guy that plays through the middle for you. Medium work rates are not that big of a deal this year. Like you don't really feel like it's too big of a nuisance. Like if you guys pack Thiago Alcantara and he ends up being your attacking oriented center mid in this team, it would actually work out really nicely. So yeah, so in his case, Yaya Toure, but in our case, we're using João Palhinha because he's the more defensive player. The thing is, though, is that when you play a formation that has 3 center mids, you still want them to be pretty good at attacking, right? So that is something that you're probably going to notice that lacks with Palhinha's card, is the fact that, you know, he needs to have at least a little bit of an attacking presence, right? But obviously playing through the middle needs to be more the most offensive player there. Left center mid, from what I've seen, is just on cover wing, you know, just balance instructions, not really touched. The right center mid, however, is going to be on cover center. So from what I've seen, he has the more attacking oriented player on the left side, right? So he has Jairzinho's card, which a lot of pro players have been using him specifically in that center mid position to be the more attacking oriented card. So you can see that in my case, I have João Palhinha as well as Renato Sanchez. So I can play them as the, you know, Palhinha being the more defensive oriented card, and then Renato Sanchez being the push forward comeback type of card, right? So I think in his video he may have had like a Marquisio or something, because people use Marquisio like crazy right now because apparently he's good too. I haven't tried him yet, but yeah, the more attacking oriented card is going to be in the left center mid area. So in our case, we have Bernardo Silva. The left forward, balanced, striker, balance, and then the right forward is going to be on comeback and defense, right? So what you notice, right, is the way that this formation is set up in game is that he does say it exactly how it actually lines up. So what happens is that when you line up this 4-3-2-1 in this way with these instructions, you actually notice that defensively your team actually lines up in a 4-4-2 formation. So what happens is that because Bernardo Silva is on the cover wing instruction, and this is me not understanding German whatsoever, right? It's just what you notice in game. With Bernardo Silva on cover wing, he actually moves to the side position, right? Phil Foden kind of lingers up top, but obviously works with his high work rates. Ronaldo stays up top because of his high-low. But then you have someone like Diogo Jota, who with his high defensive work rates, right, pushes back, and it acts like a 4-4-2 because this guy's on cover center, this guy's on cover center, so they actually play in that middle area. Bernardo Silva plays to the left side, and then Diogo Jota goes to the right side, so it acts like a 4-4-2 defensively in game, right? So obviously the types of players that you have in your team is going to be very, very important in regards to how you utilize this formation. A card like Phil Foden, you know, could totally play in the left center mid area too if you really want to work with that. But obviously in our case, we kind of need the pace in those areas. And you guys know me, I always like to have high work rates in the side positions as much as possible. We ended up getting Cristiano Ronaldo on the Road to Glory account, which is this one. I'm not sure if we're gonna, I mean, I don't mind keeping it as a Road to Glory because it depends on what account I use for the content, right? But yeah, with Cristiano Ronaldo in this team, definitely a nice thing to have. You guys are noticing that I'm not giving him an architect to make him a lengthy player. You guys know my playstyle is not necessarily always going for through balls and lob passes. So for me, my main focus is that when I do want to work with the pace on the ball, I want higher acceleration, right? And then obviously, when it comes to shooting, I want him to be perfect. I just do. I want every shot that I take to be as good as possible, and you guys will notice it in game. Listen, like I mentioned to you guys in the lengthy video, it was like one of the last ones where it was like 40 something K. I told you guys that with a card like Cristiano Ronaldo, you wouldn't be wrong to not give him an architect chemistry style, right? It just depends on what you want to work with in game. So giving him a hunter is not a problem, okay? So yeah, hunter chemistry style on Ronaldo makes sense. The types of players that you want in your team. So obviously you want to try to work with this full meta as possible, but I also want you guys to try to use different teams because this game's boring when people just use full meta as much as possible. As usual, the center backs, you want them. I don't care. Listen, I'm gonna toss sentimental value aside. The two center backs need to be full meta, okay? You can have Lucio, you can have Thing, and now I will literally not judge you because you have to have these cards in this game with how it plays. I literally face so many people that only go for through balls, only go for lob passes, and these guys are super helpful to be able to counter that as much as possible. Your fullbacks, yes, you can get full meta as much as possible, but you're a little bit less lenient in that area. Just get players that are good at dribbling while pushing forward, right? And then obviously being able to push back is definitely a big deal too. If you can get players that are lengthy in that area. So let me show you guys an example of what I'm talking about, right? So Kyle Walker doesn't have the dribbling, but if he's the balance-oriented right back in the team, because he is lengthy on a shadow chemistry style, if you're overcommitting him forward on the balance instruction for the fullback area, you know that his track back is going to be absolutely insane with pace like that while being a lengthy player, right? The left back position, you know, everyone always uses, you know, Ferland Mendy's card. Ferland Mendy's card is absolutely fantastic as well. He is a player that can turn into a lengthy on an architect chemistry style. Does it feel like you really need to do that? Not necessarily. A shadow chemistry style boost is really nice for the defensive boost, right? So definitely food for thought when it comes to a card like this. A lot of people are giving him the architect as well, but again, it wouldn't be wrong to give him a shadow. But the thing is that if you actually take a look at his in-game pace stats as it is, the pace is already set up in a good area, so that's why an architect wouldn't be horrible. It's just the extra defensive boost that would be really, really nice to work with. Your left center mid, like I said, you can use a lot of attacking oriented cards. You can use physical type strikers there. In his case, if you're using it on the left side, having a left-footed player is helpful for the outside foot shots, but if they get nerfed in the future, then obviously that's not going to be like a hugely prevalent thing. But regardless, having any sort of attacking player there is perfectly fine to work with. Doesn't matter who it is. It could be Messi, it could be Mbappe, Neymar, whatever you're working with. They could play in that area. As of right now, left foot on the left side is definitely preferable. So the fact that we do have Bernardo Silva in that area is helpful because I can switch to a 4-2-3-1 in game as much as possible. So that's why the 4-3-2-1 from Mo Abba is so good, because, and I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name right, that's why it's so good, right? Because you can switch this formation in game to a 4-2-3-1 and you could still have the right players in each individual area, which is very, very important, right? Depending on the situation of the game. The attackers, I mean, it's really up to personal preference. You want to try to get like a proper striker, right? In my case, Cristiano Ronaldo in this game works perfectly fine. He's fantastic, so I use him up top, and then we use Diogo Jota and Foden in the side positions. Do your players necessarily have to be you know, high work rate in this formation? No, because even if you have a high-low work rated card, it's just more helpful for the attacking positions. But obviously, with the comeback and defense instruction, they'll still do it, just not as much as like someone like Jota consistently, right? So in Abba's case, I think he was using Mbappe in the right forward position to come back in defense, and obviously Mbappe's a high-low, so very helpful in the attack, but then also tracks back in the defense really nicely too. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys some highlights of how this formation ended up moving in game. It's good to show these highlights because we played in the worst version of gameplay possible. Super slow. I might be making an example video of the rant that I made for how the game performs when there is those two meta mechanics with the slow gameplay, right? So the slow gameplay is really good to show because that's what we play in mostly, and it's good to kind of show that the formation still works perfectly fine in it, right? So yeah, definitely very happy to get Ronaldo in the team. I was using Ben Yedder before. Ronaldo has definitely been a massive difference in the team, obviously in his case, with 4 matches played, 8 goals, 2 assists. Definitely has been a game changer in the squad. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the highlights. I will catch you guys for the next video. Guys, again, be sure to go to the YouTube link down below. Let him know that we sent you guys, like the video, okay? Because these are review tactics, okay? It's his tactics. Be sure to go show support, okay? Guys, thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace. Nice finish. Let's go, Ronaldo. Let's go. Ronaldo's the new inclusion for the Road to Glory team because of us packing Dembele from Foot Champs rewards.
Ronaldo. Now with Silva. Can he make it count?
Let's go, boys.
The ball is moving again. 2-0 is how it stands. Ronaldo. Jota. Onto Ronaldo. And it's fallen for Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, he's lost it. Ronaldo. Walker. And Sporting unable to retain possession. Element of risk there. Can he make it count?
I'll take that. Super lucky, but we move.
We're getting the ball forward. Sanchez. Foden. And return to Silva. He might be able to carve something out.
Ronaldo.
Fantastic goal, and no wonder he's offset.
I'll tell you guys this right now. Having Ronaldo in the team over Ben Yedder, definitely nice. Definitely nice. So what I'm realizing so far with this formation is that on the attack, it is absolutely brilliant. It's honestly really, really good. It's more the defense that I'm having issues with because I feel like having full meta defenders and midfielders definitely will make a huge difference for sure. So that's where I feel like it's most vulnerable, right? But it is also because of a defensive play style switch that you do have to get used to, but it almost feels like it's worth it because of how good the attack actually feels so far.
Rui. Now with Silva. And Palinha with it. Sanchez.
Oh, almost.
Well, I think a classic commentator's curse just then. Couldn't make the ideal pass. Ronaldo. Foden. Can they convert?
Nice goal.
2 for him today.
Nice goal. Nice goal.
On for them, but not to be. Silva. And Renato Sanchez with it now. Can he take the chance?
Woo! Bernardo Silva on that dribble.
And surely
Bernardo Silva.
this is how the visitors will set up today. Mike Mignon begins in goal. Kyle Walker plays with Theo Hernandez in the wide defensive areas. And N'Golo Conte starts alongside Sandro Tonali in centre midfield. Can he finish it here? Still could be dangerous. The high press was on and the chance
Nice. I knew I had to go for a chip first time or else that was not going to work.
and that'll be a throw. Ronaldo. Now with Jota. And it's still on. Ronaldo!
Nice. There we go, boys. ISO play. Push against the defenders. There we go.
And Bernardo Silva has it. Oh, the threat is there. Foden. supporters want to see him have a go.
Oh my goodness, bro. Giving perfect shooting to Ronaldo with a hunter, since I'm not always going for like the lengthy stuff with like the counter through balls and stuff. It's sick, man. Just making his shooting perfect is really good. It's good that we're trying out this tactic right now because the gameplay is at its worst right now. For some reason, the Fridays, I don't know, it's because it's foot champs and stuff, but it's literally so agonizingly slow right now.
Cristiano Ronaldo. And Paulinho with it. Cristiano Ronaldo. And he's made headway.
What a goal. Physical presence with Ronaldo allows us to score that opportunity. Let's go.
Jota. Will he play it in? Ronaldo Silva. Now with Rui. Back with Silva. Might take the lead.
Let's go, boys. When you push their defensive line that far back in those side areas, you'll actually have so much space opening up in the middle. Like, you'll think you're offside, but you're not because of the fullbacks not committing back quick enough.
Contest this.
And that's, the slowness, man.
Renato Sanchez with it now. On to Silva.
Thank you, Bernardo.
A real opening now. Big chance it is.
You guys see how slow it is? You guys see how slow it was just to do all of that? You guys see that? Do you guys see it?
That's what you call defending from the front. Possibilities here. Foden. Now with Ronaldo. Might be a chance here. He had to score.
We'll take it.
And